But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey guys, welcome to the Think Tank. So we have the latest audio. Now this is going to be Jen Soto's interview the day after Stephan Sterns was arrested, and they had found all that material on his phone. So there's been a lot going on in the YouTube streets. Some people aren't getting credited, other people, I don't know. I'm not my show, but I just want to thank both Plunder and the Docket for everything that they do. They fork out the money and get a lot of this stuff for us. They don't charge a whole bunch, and they do deserve the shout out for everything that they do for the true crime community and for the victims. Okay, so I have not heard this. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I've heard a lot of different things. So guys, good morning, Crispy. Hello, Mickey. Hello. Well, good morning, Keza. Good morning. So let's hope for an easier stream. I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to give it my best, and let's hope that, hey, Dandy, let's hope that we can do this pain-free. We don't want the spinny wheel. We just want, a good audio, a good, clear audio. From what I've heard, it's a little disturbing. So we'll say a trigger warning at this point. And off we go.
All right, the date is February 29, 2024. Time is 5:09 p.m. We are at 4012 Santa Maria Drive. In reference to case number 24001809. It's myself, Detective Morris, Detective Smallwood, and Jennifer Soto. So, to give you a little bit of what's happening now, there's a few other additional pieces of evidence that we're collecting at the time. Okay. Some of that evidence came from Stephan's phone. Okay. Some of the pictures that were on the phone. Okay. That we've identified belonging to Maddie as well. So clothing that she was wearing, that sort of stuff.
Plunder.
That's what we're
True
collecting.
crime audio.
We will leave you an evidence sheet to let you know what we took. Everything that we've taken from the house is in an evidence sheet that's going to be left here for you. Okay. It may take them a little bit because what they do is they take a picture of it, they collect it, go to the next one, take a picture of it, collect it. So it'll be a little bit, but it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so we spoke yesterday and we've got a little bit more information since the last time we spoke. Last night, I guess it would be.
True crime audio.
So I'm going to ask you to go through this again Monday morning when you were asleep. Stephan and Maddie were upstairs and she's going to school. Run me through that morning again. How, like you mentioned something about you hearing noises and then you woke up. So how exactly did that go down?
Monday morning, I was woken up by Stephan Sterns coming into my bedroom.
So, again, major trigger warning. They are talking about actual, I guess. There's just a lot in here that could trigger a lot of different people. So I'll just say it one more time. Trigger warning. As we know, this is not a good situation. And it involves CP and SA and all sorts of very bad things. So again, another trigger warning for you guys, friends.
To try to put the leash on the dog. He was saying, "Here, puppy, let's go," and trying to leash him up. I got up off the bed at that moment because my dog has a tendency to pee a little bit when you're too direct and you put a leash on him.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like talk to him nicely and yeah. He got the leash on the dog and told me, "Okay, don't worry about it. Just go back to sleep." And I said, "Okay." So I went back to sleep.
Plunder, true
I
crime
think this was
audio.
around. I'm assuming this was around 8:00 in the morning because I'm assuming, oh, he's getting ready to take her to school. He's walking the dog before he does that. Yeah. So I'm not sure what time it was, but I think it was around 8:00 in the morning when this happened.
Okay.
I thought I had heard somebody in the kitchen. I don't know who it could be. But yeah, I just heard sounds, but I'm not sure who it was. Who was in the kitchen? Could have been Stephan. Could have been Maddie.
Okay.
Could have been one of my roommates.
When the deputies first talked to you when you were reporting her missing,
Yeah.
you remember writing a statement?
Yes.
Okay. In that statement, you say you saw Maddie.
I saw. I know. I misremembered. I didn't see her.
Misremembered.
I wanted to believe I saw her, but I didn't.
But when you're talking to the deputy on his body cam, you describe what she's wearing.
Because she had picked it out the night before.
Okay.
I told her to set up her clothes the night before to have it ready.
So I've looked. This is the only bedroom, and I think this is room 4, that has any kind of locking system. So it's disturbing knowing that they get sent to room 4 for, when Jennifer needs a good night's sleep.
So she was ready to go.
Did you do a interview with Fox 35 recently?
Yes.
Okay. In that interview, you say something to the effect that you don't want her to come home. Do you remember that?
No. Why would I say that?
I don't know. That's part of the interview.
Maybe
I don't know if you listened to it or if you saw it.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay. Maybe when we're done with this, you can Google it to see if you misspoke or.
I must have misspoken because that's I remember recalling asking her to come home. Please come home. We miss you. I want you here. Like, please be safe. I remember saying that.
Inside.
Okay. All right. I want to touch a little bit more, go more in depth on the relationship that you have with Stephan. Now, you said you guys have been dating for a while, and then you kind of broke up, and it's been on and off for a few years, I guess you'd say, right?
Yeah.
During that time, was he seeing anybody else?
I was told at one point sometime last year that, hey, the girl I was hanging out with, one of my coworkers I was hanging out with outside of work, who I said I was hanging out with, I was really having sex with her. Because I asked him, I'm like, did you have sex with her? Like, because you told me you were just hanging out.
Plunder,
did you have sex with her?
True crime
he admitted
audio.
that he did. I think her name is Marielle, but I'm not sure what her last name would be.
Okay. Now, the relationship that you had with Stephan, you told me that you haven't had sex in a while.
Yeah.
When you guys were together and intimate with each other.
Hey, Shauna.
Is maybe a little uncomfortable, but something that we have to discuss is when you guys were intimate with each other. A lot of people call it vanilla sex. Some people call it, whatever kind of sex you want to call it. How would you describe you and Stephan when you guys were intimate?
Pretty vanilla. I would say just missionary and oral. But nothing
Ew.
Nothing more than that. Missionary.
Okay. Has he ever asked you to perform a certain
Plunder.
way?
True
or
crime audio.
anything that you think would be out of the ordinary?
He's I want to say he's joked around about wanting anal sex.
Ew.
And like, yeah, we should do that. We should try that. And I'm like, absolutely not. No. To me, his penis is average size, but thick, and it hurts. So I don't want, even normal sex hurt to me. So I just didn't want to do it anymore, honestly.
Okay. Nothing other than that you think would be out of the ordinary?
No.
Okay. All right. So he is on medication. You told me he's on medication for insomnia.
Insomnia.
Can you say that right? Sleep apnea.
Yeah.
And then I believe you said ADHD.
Yeah. And also anxiety meds, I think.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else that you can think of?
He did have, I think,
Plunder.
a
True
vial
crime
of,
audio.
I'm not sure if it was Viagra or Cialis, but one or the other.
Mm.
I know he was having a hard time getting an erection or being able to enjoy getting off.
Yep. Yuck.
And he ended up figuring out we couldn't figure out. He went to the doctors, tried to figure out why he was having these issues. They told him it must be something mental because physically his body's fine, should be acting normal.
Okay.
But we found out it was a side effect due to the Adderall medication he was on, that he was not able to enjoy himself sexually once he got off Adderall for a while and was able to
Yucky. It's a cop crispy. Yeah.
enjoy himself again. I think there was no need for the Cialis or anything like that.
Okay. Would he ever talk to you about what kind of porn he liked watching or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Have you ever, quote unquote, watched porn with him or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, Maddie, what medication did she take?
She was on hydroxyzine, which is a sleeping medication and anxiety medication. So that because she suffers from really bad GI issues, she's constantly constipated. What else? She had an asthma inhaler.
Yeah, you see, this is the thing. There's a lot of stuff going on in the back. Plunder, the Docket, and Gray Hughes, they put their money together and purchased all of this. So it is public information, but they had to purchase it. And, you know, it came to thousands of dollars. So, you know, with all the stuff that's going on in the background, I just, I'm going to ignore it and just keep doing as we do. Yeah, that's the thing. Plunder, Gray Hughes, and the Docket paid for these. And then you can purchase these on Plunder's Patreon. So it is there. Why should a person have to pay for this? You know, when you fill out the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, some you get at no cost, but most of them you have to pay. Plunder did put out a video that showed their receipts of some of these purchases. The Docket seemed to get a lot, so Plunder would help pay for them and just give each other a shout out. And then they just ask the same, just don't take it as our own. So, yeah, it does. It takes a lot of time to sift through the information to be released to the public. It does. They do an awful lot of work. So I have no problem saying where I've gotten these, because to me they do deserve the shout out. They're the ones forking out all the money. So with that, let's get back into this.
She had an asthma inhaler.
Plunder, true crime audio.
I can't think of any other meds she was on.
Does she take that medicine to school with her?
The asthma medication, yes. The asthma medication, yes. The Adderall I give to her before she goes to school, and the anxiety meds we give it to her when she's at home.
How does she react to this medicine?
No.
Like, how does her body react?
Fine.
Okay.
No side effects. No, nothing weird.
Okay. And she takes it in the morning or at night?
Adderall she'll take in the morning. Hydroxyzine, the sleeping meds, or the anxiety meds, either or, probably in the afternoon or evening time close to bed. We use it mostly for sleep aid. That would be given to her at night. The asthma medication was used, and the GI medication was given.
Okay. And then medication that you take.
Me?
Yeah.
I take Ziprazidone, which is brand name is Geodon. That's for bipolar medication. I take anxiety medication, lorazepam.
Hi, Renata. Welcome back.
Methimazole, which is a thyroid medication. I'm also prescribed medical marijuana in capsule form and flower form. And then a vitamin D medication, a really high dose of vitamin D I have to, because I had gastric sleeve surgery a few years ago, so I'm vitamin deficient. So they give me some high doses of medications to keep my vitamins balanced. I think that's it.
Okay.
Plunder, true crime audio.
All right. So going back to the morning that Stephan takes her to school, you said you think it's around 8 o'clock when you physically see Stephan messing with the dog?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't see Maddie anywhere?
I don't.
Okay. When Maddie gets dressed for school, like now that I've seen the inside of the house, it looks like a majority of her clothes are in that little partitioned area in the living room.
Yeah.
Does she have clothes anywhere else? Like, where would she put clothes to wear to school the next day?
Okay. Where would she get dressed? She would get dressed in her bedroom right there, that little nook in the living room. All her clothes are there. When she takes off her clothes, her dirty laundry hamper is typically in my bathroom downstairs, and she'll just dump it in the basket. But there is no basket there right now. She's been dumping everything on the floor. I think the basket is currently being used with clean clothes. So I just wanted to keep the clean clothes and so dirty clothes are on the floor right now. What's in the basket should be like half clean, half dirty clothes, I think.
Okay. When you go to sleep, when you were sleeping that night, was your door open
Plunder,
or shut?
true
It
crime
is left cracked
audio.
open.
Cracked open. Okay. Would you see or hear Maddie going to get changed?
I would say yes, but if I weren't deep asleep, and I think I was deep asleep because I didn't hear anything until Stephan came and woke me up to try to get the dog.
Okay, so he woke you up to help with the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't hear tussling around or wrestling around in the kitchen that made you wake up to go help?
No. It was him. He came directly into my room and grabbed the dog, and I got up. I shot up to try to help him. It was until later that after that is when I heard rustling in the kitchen.
Okay. So he takes the dog out, took a potty or whatever it may be, and he comes back inside. Do you see him when he comes back inside?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember him leaving, saying bye to you or anything like that when he's taking Maddie to school?
I don't think so. I think at this point I was already back deep asleep.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure when he went to walk the dog and left, I fell right back asleep immediately.
Okay. Now you go back to sleep.
Plunder, true crime.
You wake up
audio.
because you have a doctor appointment to go get blood drawn or something like that.
Yeah.
And you told me your appointment was around 10 or something like that, 9, 10?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now. I think it was 10:15. Yes, it was at 10:15.
Okay. So you go to this appointment, and on your way back, did you talk to Stephan on the phone at all?
I know I talked to him while I was in the parking lot waiting for my blood work to happen. I just don't recall if I called him on my way home as well. It would seem like I would do that, but I just can't 100% tell you if I did do that or not.
Okay. At what time did you and him meet back up here?
Plunder, true crime audio.
So I got back from my blood work appointment anytime between, I'll say 11:15, 11:30, so sometime around that time.
And was he already here?
Yes.
Okay. What did you guys talk about when you got home?
What happened this morning?
What did he say? What happened this morning?
He's like, we had a good morning. We made really good time. Maddie got ready super quick. We were out the door super quickly. I was super impressed with our time. I tried convincing Maddie to go have McDonald's breakfast a few times, but she changed her mind and decided she didn't want to. She just wanted to sleep in the car. And the thing is, the night before, we had discussed, oh, Maddie, maybe he should leave a little bit earlier than normal so that you can go get breakfast with him at McDonald's. That would be a really cool day to start a Monday right after your birthday, having McDonald's at breakfast. And she's like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So they were supposed to have gone to McDonald's, but he told me they didn't. He told me he had left his phone because I had, he had already told me this earlier that he had left his phone.
Plunder, true crime audio.
We sat in my room for a while, hung out. He discussed having to reset his phone even though he didn't want to, or no, not reset his phone. He discussed needing to update his phone because he's been avoiding an update for so long. But I think it's time to do it. And I said, just do it. Stop avoiding it. Just do it. And he started the update. And then through the update, he's like, oh my God, I don't know what button I pressed, but I just factory erased my entire phone. And I said, that was stupid. How'd you manage to do that? He goes, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention and I just clicked the button and it happened. And I said, oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Or did he tell you he meant to reset his phone?
No, he didn't tell me he meant to reset his phone. He acted like and said that it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that odd?
Of course I find that fucking odd. That's suspicious as hell. That...
Have you ever reset any kind of phone?
Me? I have no idea how to do that now.
Okay. Have you ever had to do an update on a phone?
I think so. On these phones, yeah. Sometimes it'll ask me to just continue on with the update. And do I remember it ever asking me to
Plunder,
erase? No.
true crime audio.
Okay.
But he's got a Samsung. I have Apple, so I don't know if there is a difference or not. So,
all right. Now that you mentioned phones, so Maddie had a phone.
yeah.
And explain to me what her attachment is to her phone.
Her phone is her lifeline. That's how she talks to all of her friends. That's how she talks to any of us. She's constantly on video chat with her best friend or talking to them or playing video games with them. But she's on her phone pretty often. What exactly would you like to know about her?
So, at one point you told either a deputy or officer or detectives that sometimes she leaves her phone at home when she
Plunder,
goes to school.
true crime audio.
How often do you think that is?
I would say once every few weeks. It happens a lot. Like for me, that's a lot. She has ADHD. She's very forgetful. She'll set something down and completely forget where she said it later. Where I found her phone was on her dresser. So I'm assuming she placed it there while she was getting ready and completely forgot about it, got ready, grabbed her backpack and left. But it was on the dresser in front of her TV. But for me, that's a normal thing for her to forget her phone.
Now, when she went, do you remember what time she went to bed on Sunday?
I sent them to bed around 11 o'clock.
Okay. Did you see him or her anytime after that other than in the morning? Or talk to them? Either via text or yell through the walls or...
No, nothing like that. If anything, Stephan may have come down to use
Plunder,
the restroom.
true crime audio.
Why wouldn't he use the restroom upstairs?
Because our roommate does not like sharing. Our roommate does not like sharing bathrooms with men, and she asked that we don't use that bathroom, or that he doesn't use that bathroom specifically. So we've respected her wishes, and he's been using my bathroom this whole time.
Okay. Were you supposed to work Monday?
No, I was off.
Okay. What about Tuesday?
Off. Wednesday, I was supposed to work.
And you told me you work at the front desk at Coronado Springs at Disney.
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
Less than a week.
Okay. Did you work anywhere prior to that?
I was a substitute teacher for Kelly Education.
And how long did you do that?
Maybe a month or two. Not very long. And then before that, I've been unemployed. I've been living off disability, essentially. I'm disabled.
Okay. Why are you disabled? From what?
I have a bunch of things. Primarily PTSD.
From what?
So PTSD, bipolar 2, generalized anxiety, ADHD. I think that's pretty much it with my psychiatric stuff.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what happened with...
Plunder, true crime audio.
I went on a date with a guy I had met.
Was this before Stephan or...
Yes, this was before
Okay.
Stephan. This was right before. It was a few years before Stephan, or maybe the year before Stephan. But met a guy at a car dealership who interviewed me for a job. I turned the job down, and he said, "Oh, great, I can't date my employees." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to take you out on a date." And I said, "Oh, wow, I've never been asked out on a date in person before." And we went out on a date. He got really drunk. We got back to his place.
Plunder, true crime audio.
I think those are Warhammer. I think that's what he's painting, a little Warhammer dude.
If you didn't work, what would your typical day look like?
My entire day was
Yeah, I
focused
think
around
so.
that.
I think that's exactly what those are. Yeah. Me and my son painted them when my kid was like 11 or 12. This guy's what, in his 30s?
Um,
On a normal basis.
mhm. I would wake up first thing in the morning, make sure she was ready, make her breakfast, get her backpack and water bottle ready. If she's taking lunch, get her some lunch ready. This is me doing this while she's getting ready. Walk the dog, come
Plunder,
back,
True
make sure she takes
Crime
all her medications
Audio.
before school, take her to school, come back. I typically have a bunch of doctor's appointments to go to often, so I'm either at doctor's appointments. If I'm not at doctor's appointments, I'm just here at home, probably napping, resting, just waiting until it's time to pick her up from school again. She was my entire life. Everything I did was, my everyday was for her.
Really?
Did Stephan know about your doctor appointment on Monday? Did you tell him what your plans were on Sunday?
I'm not sure when I told him.
That did not sound very
I
convincing.
must have told him Sunday night, yeah, or Sunday, because there's no way I could have told him Monday morning if he didn't have his phone on him, and I didn't really talk to him that morning.
Where'd you meet him?
We both worked at a real estate office off of iDrive somewhere. They're called Eco Homes. I don't think they exist anymore though. The Eco Home Company. I think he was a real estate agent for them or did warranty work for them. And I was an appointment setter.
So proud of his paint job.
And I didn't have that job for very long. I got fired. It was right after my PTSD incident. I couldn't hold down a job at all.
So when you and Stephan would hang out, say Maddie's at school and you two wanted to hang out, or the three of you wanted to hang out, like what would you guys do? Like where would you go? Or
Primarily Disney. We have Disney annual pass holders. We both worked for Disney at one point. Well, at least he worked there at one point. I still work there. But we go to Disney. Or we stay at home and like they would play board games, or we'd watch. Well, we loved watching movies. We would always have family time and just watch a new movie. Like I felt like it was one of our projects to make sure that she watched all the good movies from the 80s and 90s that we grew up watching. I just wanted her to like have the knowledge of pop culture. So we, last movie we watched with her was Sister Act.
when was that?
Sunday night.
Like, would you go out to like eat anywhere, like a favorite restaurant or anything like that?
The only restaurant I think we frequented a handful of times in the last year is La Mexicana. It's on off of
Plunder,
Columbia.
True Crime Audio.
Honestly, living on disability and then his income at Disney, like it wasn't enough to survive. We really didn't eat out often. We couldn't afford it.
Okay. Would you go like visit any parks or other than not Disney parks, but like neighborhood parks or anything like that?
No, we'd hang out right here at this lake.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie really liked hanging out at this lake and just drawing, sitting on one of the benches and drawing. Any other park? No, not really.
Now, what if it was just you and him, say going out on a date or wherever? Where would you guys typically go?
So, due to money, hardly ever went out on a date. Honestly, we hardly went out on dates. There's only one date I can think of that we went on, and that was like years ago at the beginning of our relationship, where we went to Disney Springs. I went to the Edison. I don't think we've had many date nights, just him and me. It's always been the three of us doing something, going to dinner, going to Disney Springs. We visit Disney Springs sometimes, often, or not often, but sometimes.
Why are
liked
his shorts
that
in her
restaurant, Deluxe Burger.
basket?
Really good. She really enjoyed it there.
Now, the dynamic between you three. I know you told me that sometimes you and her would sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
Sometimes the three of you would sleep in the bed. And then sometimes you would send him and her to a bedroom so you can get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
How long has that been going on?
Okay, so
Plunder, true crime audio.
I'm going to say back in June. It was primarily the three of us sleeping in bed together all the time.
Ew.
And why? How did that start?
Maddie has always slept in the bed with me. She's always slept in my room. Only when we lived in that apartment in Northport did she have her own bedroom, and we could afford for her to have her own room. So that was the only time she's actually had her own room. Wow. Here, she's always shared a room with me. When she was a baby, she had her own bedroom here for a few years. But once she got older and we started having roommates and all that stuff, she started just staying with me in my bedroom. Stephan, during the times that we did live with Stephan, it would be the three of us in this bed down here, down in the master bedroom. It wasn't until June of last year that we had broken up, and I said, okay, I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you. Please move upstairs. And he moved upstairs.
Plunder, true crime audio.
At this point, Maddie pretty much slept with me all the time. I think I can count maybe on one hand how many times she's gone upstairs to sleep with him alone, because I wasn't comfortable with it. I was like, no, this it doesn't look right. Like, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I'm not comfortable with it. Maddie, you got to sleep with me. And I've told him that. But there were times that they'd beg for sleepovers. Like, please, we just want to stay up late watching movies. And I would be too tired to stay up late. So I would say, fine, go ahead and do it. But just this once, like.
When did you start becoming comfortable with it?
Good question.
I don't know if I was ever comfortable with it.
But you told them to go Sunday night to go sleep together.
I did. That was a selfish move on my part. It's because I wanted a good night's sleep. I didn't want her kicking me or rolling onto me or waking me up. Jesus. Or to hear her alarm so that it woke me up. I wanted to keep sleeping until I needed to sleep, because I just had not, with my training schedule, I have not had a good night's sleep. My medication was out of whack. I was feeling funny and not like myself. And I knew that I needed another night's sleep and my medication in my body, like ASAP. So I needed to go to bed. So I wasn't even comfortable sending her that night, but I just did it for my own selfish reasons.
Okay. Did you know?
Plunder, true crime audio.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it?
No. If anything, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18 and ends up running away with him. What? I told him, like, that was my biggest fear, and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
What? Are you kidding me? You guys, what the hell is that all about? Did not want a Woody situation. You remember that Woody Allen did marry his daughter that they had adopted. Jeez.
Because I never trusted.
Unreal.
I grew up being told never trust a man. My mom put that in my body, never trust a man. And like,
Jesus.
I did not completely 100% trust the man, but in my, like, the logic in my head was saying, you know, he's been in your life for 7 years. Nothing's happened. He hasn't shown you anything that he's weird or that he's done or that he's interested in her or said anything about her body or talked to her about her in any specific way that like freaked me out. He's never said anything like that or shown me any of those signs. So I thought I could trust him, that he was safe, that he was a good guy and that he was taking care of my baby and loved her the way I loved her. But I was wrong.
Jesus.
Yes, because you may think he was whatever.
I know.
Plunder, true crime audio.
I wonder if is she really crying?
So I need you to, I know this is a lot, but Monday morning, I really need you to focus on his actions Monday morning.
Okay.
So you go to help him with the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you or do you not see Maddie?
I do not see Maddie.
Okay. At that time, would it be normal for her to be awake, getting up, ready for school?
Yes.
Okay. And according to you, she typically does that in her bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. When you go out of your bedroom to help him with this dog.
I never left my bedroom.
Didn't?
He was in my bedroom. He walked in. The dog was on top of my bed, and he went to leash the dog on top of my bed. I got off the bed to try to help him with that, and then he said, "No, go back to sleep." So I did.
Okay. He tells you that he took Maddie to school and drops her off somewhere near the school so she could walk because she doesn't want to be seen inside of his car.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe him?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because the evidence, because the photos, because of what you're telling me. Because
Plunder, true crime audio.
I want to hope my daughter's alive and out there and that she was taken. I don't know anymore.
Well, I can be fairly confident that a stranger did not take Maddie. The only person she was with was Stephan.
Why would he go to Northport?
I don't know. I don't know what's in Northport other than his parents. Did you know he was going to Northport?
I thought when I woke up and he wasn't in the hotel, I thought he had gone to the Target Plaza right next door to the hotel we were staying at because he likes to go shopping when he's stressed. But that's not what happened according to you guys. He actually went all the way to Northport and came back.
So when he gets stressed, he likes to go shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he tell you he was going shopping on Monday?
He was going to go stop at a few game shops to see if they had any Lorcana cards for sale.
Would that be considered stressful shopping? In your mind or your eyes?
No, because he does this often.
Where's he getting the money?
He'll want to see what stores have what in
Plunder.
stock to see
True
if he can afford to
crime
buy it or not.
audio.
Mhm.
He'll go from shop to shop. He's done this. He does this. He does that.
Okay. So going back to it, he says he drops Maddie off and he sees her walking towards the school.
Yeah.
And then did he tell you where he went after that?
He said he drove around for a little bit, killing time, and then
Killing time for what?
Killing
for
time
the vape
again.
shop to open.
Okay.
And then I think he told me he waited. No, he told me he waited in front of the vape shop for it to open. But I think that it didn't open. It never opened in time when it was supposed to.
Do you know what vape shop he went to?
Yes. And I know that I brought this vape shop up to one of the other detectives earlier, and I had shown them this location. But that vape shop is located in a plaza where it has an Amscot on one corner and a bank on the other corner. So if you guys could probably find video footage of if he was even there, pulling in and out. That's in Hunters Creek.
And you know for a fact this is where he went?
That's where he told me. Yeah. If it's any vape shop, it's this vape shop. And
Why that one? Why that specific one?
he likes the brand, the e-smoker company. And that's where he gets all of his vape stuff. He won't go to any other vape shop around here. He goes to that one.
What time is this vape shop supposed to open? Just say on there. Kyle?
10 a.m.
Plunder.
Okay.
True crime audio.
The Woody Allen thing is still bugging me.
When you guys are here, are you guys assigned garage remotes for
Yes.
the? How many of those do you have?
I have one. Stephan has one. I'm not sure if Angelica or Natalie have one.
I mean, is it something you keep in your pocket or
I keep in my car.
what about Stephan?
I think sometimes he leaves it in the car. Sometimes he brings it in with himself. It depends.
Why would he bring it inside?
I'm not sure.
Does that seem normal to you? To bring a garage remote inside the house?
No. But he said that morning he left the house. He said that morning he left the house and then returned again because he forgot the garage clicker. So he came
Plunder.
back to get
True
the clicker.
crime audio.
I don't know how true that is or not.
Do you think that was odd?
He's a very forgetful guy. I don't fucking know what to think of him anymore. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So you know you're all around.
Yeah. That's Maddie asleep in the car.
Maddie's not asleep in the car.
What do you mean? She's
Do you
dead?
believe Maddie's asleep there?
Is she dead?
I don't know. We don't know where she's at.
That's an odd way for her to be laying down sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So this is at 7:30 in the morning. Ish.
Wow.
It's way too early.
But you said you thought around 8 o'clock.
Because I assumed that he was getting her ready for school. So that would be the time he'd wake me up and take her. It was earlier.
Just for the recording, this is a video from within the complex that shows the front angle through the windshield.
Yes. So the next picture is going to be Maddie in the front seat of Stephan's car. You see right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's taken at 9 o'clock near SeaWorld.
Yeah.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Plunder. True crime audio.
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
Went to SeaWorld?
He's near SeaWorld. That's International Drive. Does he know anybody up there?
I don't think so.
Is there a special
He
place
doesn't have-
likes to go?
He doesn't have many friends like that. Like, not locally. Does he have anywhere he would like to go?
Is there a special place he likes to go?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, not very much emotion at all. Little bit, I mean, if those were actual tears, I don't know. But I mean, you just find out that your child, he basically said she was not alive in that front seat. And she just asked if she was alive. And then she says, well, that is a long time to sleep. Where's the concern? Oh, lady.
Here's another picture from the dumpster in Venetian Bay of Stephan throwing away trash.
What day?
That's going to be Monday morning, probably around 7:45.
Has the dumpster has that already been taken? Have you guys been able to look at what was dumped? What was thrown out?
What do you think was in there?
Clothes? I don't know.
What makes you say clothes?
Plunder. True crime audio.
I can't tell what he's holding. I don't know if it's a plastic bag full of stuff or...
Inside of that bag is Maddie's backpack, Maddie's school computer, and one of her Crocs.
Wow. Brutal. Brutal.
Are you telling me we're looking for a body right now?
We're looking for Maddie, absolutely. 100% we're looking for her.
No. It's most likely she's not alive.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I have a feeling that you and Stephan have some sort of communication on places he likes to go, or so, because some of the questions that I ask, it seems like you almost not cover up for him, but kind of defend him or have answers to some of these questions.
Because I want you to have more further insight as to why he
Lordy,
went.
lordy. Lordy, lordy.
But you saying he's forgetful and all
Maddie
that
too.
stuff.
I just want you to understand, like, we're all the same. We're both we're all very forgetful. We're all very time blind. It's just part of our ADHD. I just want you to know, like,
What kind of grades does she make at school? Not great. What about her attendance record?
she's got a lot of doctor's appointments that we've gone to, so she's got a lot of absences.
Are they excused or unexcused?
I want to say for the most part excused. Every time I take her to a doctor's office, I bring a note.
Mm. Do you know that for sure, or we're working on getting her school attendance record? I'm just wondering if you being a parent, I would hope that you would know kind of like what her, because I know my daughter's school that if any of them miss one period or 2 periods or something like that, they will call me and say, hey, such and such missed periods. 3 or missed period 7 or something like that.
They don't do that. They send out an email and a voicemail, like an automated voicemail, saying your child was absent today from Hunter Street
That's what I
Middle
just said.
School, but not period 1, 2, 3. And it's not early in the morning like some other states do. It's late in the evening at 5 o'clock, or it's really late.
Totally after the fact.
Yeah, totally after. Like it's.
Have you got a lot of those phone calls of her missing class?
Big hesitation.
I would say, yeah, I've got a good number of those voicemails and stuff. But I mean, even with excused doctor's notes, I'll still get those phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they miss school.
Yeah. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of those.
Okay. When you say she doesn't make good grades, what's considered not making good grades?
C under, C, D, F. She's got an IEP.
Mm-hmm.
She struggles with. She's got a few learning disabilities with reading, with mathematics. Her ADHD doesn't help anything at all. She's very spacey, very like she could see a squirrel and completely forget. Like the teachers have told me, like they'll tell her to do her work and she'll be like, oh, okay, and then see something, completely get sidetracked and then forget. And they're always on top of her. Okay. But yeah, she's just. I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Her grades and attendance.
Oh, yeah. Her grades suffer because of her ADHD for sure. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons she got an IEP is because she's technically 2 years behind with her reading level.
Okay. What grade is she in?
7th.
Okay. And I know we talked last night too, and I just kind of want to reiterate, has she had any changes in her behavior in the past few years?
I'll say yes. But it was all around where puberty hit. Mm-hmm. And like the typical teenage, the attitude, the sass, the talking back, the disrespect, the
being abused by the
pushing boundaries.
Male in the house.
She was very much doing that. But that calmed down over the last few months. It got even better when Stephan moved out and went to Northport. Maddie and I were actually seeing a therapist together to try to like work through our issues because we were having problems communicating. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So, Stephan, tell me about his. I know you said he likes to play board games and all that stuff. Is he like? What else does he like to do for fun?
He's a collector. He collects.
Play sports or anything like that?
No, he collects games and hobbies. He collects. You know what Tamagotchis are? Mm-hmm. He collects Tamagotchis. He's got so many of those. Digimons, lightsabers.
Is he?
He's weird. He's weird.
Does he like to go camping? Does he like to go to the beach or any of that stuff?
No, the beach makes him self-conscious because he doesn't like how his body looks. He calls himself flabby.
Jesus.
But no, he's not an outdoorsy person. He doesn't play sports. He doesn't like the beach. Okay, he used to. Okay, this may be relevant. Back a few years ago, I used to own a scooter, an electric scooter, and he owned something called the One Wheel, which is like a kind of like a scooter but with one big round wheel in the middle. We would take that and ride around the Kissimmee Trail connects back here.
Mm-hmm.
So we take that to the Kissimmee Bridge, do that trail over there, come back, or also go into Shingle Creek, cross the street, across Hoagland, go behind an apartment complex, and we end up in Shingle Creek. We would ride all of that and explore all of that wetlands and greenery back there. But we haven't done that in a while. We haven't owned scooters or electronic devices in a few years.
Okay.
Tell me about, you said there was an apartment in Northport.
Yeah.
Is that Stephan's mom's and dad's? Or you guys had a separate apartment?
We rented our own separate apartment.
Okay. Where was that? Obviously Northport, but do you remember the complex name?
Let me see.
And how long ago was that?
This was back in 2020.
Okay.
I don't remember the month we moved in, but we moved out in November of 2020. We were there somewhere between 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Let me see if I have there.
Was it just you three there?
Yes, it was just the three of us.
Okay.
This, I don't know what you guys think, but I am not finding her even the slightest authentic. Her emotions seem to be all over the place. She's not, I would be a total wreck if I thought that somebody had deleted my kid. I wouldn't be there answering questions in a calm voice. I would be losing my ish. To me, it just creates more doubt as to what the actual hell she knew. In my personal opinion, I think there's a lot more going to come out. I think we're going to learn more about Jennifer Soto and what she knew and what she didn't. And I just don't find honesty in her voice. I am hearing hesitation. And like that cop said, you know, it's like she is protecting Stephan. What about Madeline? What about little Maddie? Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy.
Is Northport, I've never been there. Is it a big city, small city?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the apartment we used to live in is in the town next door over. It's called Port Charlotte, Florida.
Okay.
That's a small town. Northport, even smaller, I would say.
Just
but
horrid.
Northport being more popular because it's attached to Sarasota County, so it's has
horrible
more people
woman
living in it. Charlotte County is pretty small.
Is it rural?
I mean, there was a city center, and I mean, there was a Tamiami Trail ran through it.
Okay.
So major road, lots of businesses, lots of shops. So no, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, but.
Fun fact is Northport is the third largest city in the state of Florida, square miles wise.
Yeah. The name of the apartment complex I used to live in is called Charleston K.
No, not even an ounce.
Does it still exist today? Is that still what it's called?
I'm not sure. I can Google.
Listen to her tone. Oh, Lord.
And you don't know him to still own it or rent it?
No, because it was under my name. The apartment
was under your name.
Yeah, and I'm the one who gave up the lease.
Okay.
As far as I know, it still exists.
Oh, Charleston K like that.
I'd be losing it right now.
And you guys, so you were in that apartment for roughly 6 to 8 months, you said, right?
Yes.
Did you live in Port Charlotte or Northport for longer?
No, we immediately only that time we moved right back.
Okay. And what would you guys typically do around there?
We did absolutely nothing. It was during quarantine time, so we were very afraid of COVID, very afraid of going to the store and doing anything. We stayed home, watched movies, watched a lot of Netflix, played a lot of board games. But that was about it. We didn't. Sometimes we'd go to the beach, Venice.
So remembering what he did is he put all of this stuff in the dumpster. This is one of Maddie's backpacks. And then he poured paint all the way through it. thinking what? That this is going to hide the fact that this is Maddie's? I don't know what was going on in his brain, thinking that this is some way of covering his tracks. Poor effort. Stephan.
Speech.
Yep.
But that's about it. We didn't really go anywhere.
Not much stuff outdoors
Mm,
during that time frame.
no, just done a speech.
Okay.
Why is she so calm? Why is she so calm?
When did you realize that he went to Northport recently?
When one of the officers told me.
Okay. So what night was that?
Last night.
So they told you last night, or he went last night?
They told me last night that he had went earlier that morning to Northport in my car.
Okay. Were you guys staying at the hotel together?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you not notice him gone? Did you sleep through it?
I slept through it. I went to sleep around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I did not wake up until 9. And that's when I noticed he was gone. And I called Stephan's dad, Chris, who was in the same hotel. And I said, "Hey, is Stephan with you?" He goes, "No, he's not with you." And I'm like, "No, he must have left and my car keys are gone." He's like, "Oh." I'm just like, maybe he ran out to get some food, or maybe he ran out to get something, or to Target. And he's like, "Okay, we'll just give him a little bit to wait."
Why didn't you call him directly?
Stephan?
You have a phone?
I don't think he had a phone.
Okay.
And I think his dad eventually did give him a phone for him to use, but that was later that morning. And I was never given that phone number either, so I never had a way to contact him.
Okay. Why do you think he would go
Plunder,
there?
True Crime Audio.
I was told he went into a storage unit. I have no freaking clue what he would be getting in a storage unit or hiding.
Wow.
Do you know about the storage unit?
I have heard of the storage unit. I've always known Chris or his parents to always have storage units. They own a lot of shit. They're kind of a little bit like hoarders, but they own a lot of stuff. They have, I think, a few storage units, or they did. I think they may have condensed down to just one, maybe. But yeah, I've always known them to have storage units.
Okay. And if you were to leave from Kissimmee, what way would I go to get to Northport or Port Charlotte?
I-4 down to 75 to exit 179, I think, Toledo Blade Road.
Toledo Blade?
Yeah.
Okay.
They live pretty close right off the highway.
Did you see him when he got back eventually?
Yes.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, where the fuck he was. I'm like, an officer's coming right now to interview us. Where the fuck have you been? This would have looked terrible if you weren't there. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I went out to go get some food and I found a Wawa and then I got turned around and I got lost and then I made it my way back here." And we're like, "Oh, okay." Not fucking thinking anything other than just believing him. I feel like so stupid because I don't know how long he's probably been lying to me about the stupidest shit for the longest time. Like,
That's what you're worried about right now?
So he said he went out to get food.
yeah. And he came back with he had a cup of from Wawa. He was drinking a drink.
Do you remember what time he got back?
Like 11:15 a.m.
Okay, so you were up around 9ish, you just told me?
Yeah.
So from the time you were up by the time he got back, roughly 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and he came back with a Wawa cup.
Yeah.
So if I remember, this is on the inside of
So-
room 4.
During that time frame, he tells you he's been lost, got turned around, essentially,
And he had no way.
for 2 hours.
Yeah, he didn't have a phone. He didn't know how to get back to the hotel room. That's obviously bullshit.
Did you
not-
tell him that?
No, but no, I'm speaking as from what I know right now. That's obviously bullshit. From what I was told by one of you guys, or from what I kind of calculated, he must have left the house in order for him to make this round trip to Northport and make it back by 11. He must have left 5 to 6 hours ago. So I'm just like, that makes it like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I don't know, something like that. I'm just like, so he waited for me to fall asleep and then he left.
And you said you went to bed around what time?
3:30, 4 o'clock.
100%.
He waited for me to fall asleep and he fucking left.
Okay, I get that part. Are you 100% that you went to sleep around that time?
Oh, that's what you're asking me. I thought you were confirming me like 100% that he's doing. Trying to see if there's any way I can like. I saw the clock saying 3:30 when I got up to go to the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for a little while and then I came back.
And he was there.
He was there and he was asleep.
Was he though?
So I went to bed around that time. I was in the bathroom for, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes. I had terrible dinner and it just was not okay. But when I got out, he was awake, or he was asleep. I'm sorry.
Why is she complaining about the way she feels? Find your kid. Lordy.
He actually mentioned, oh man, I woke up really early this morning, around 4. And he mentioned waking up around 4-ish because he had really bad diarrhea and used the restroom.
Oh my God.
He mentioned that.
No.
The following day.
No.
And just so I'm on the same thought process, what day were you guys in the hotel?
What day were we in the hotel?
Would that have been Tuesday night?
Let me see. Really late Tuesday night, so I think it was technically Wednesday morning when we checked into the hotel. It was really early. But yeah, Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning.
Plunder, true crime audio.
Such a shame she has to do that to protect her content.
I want to divert a little bit with Maddie. Never. Okay. Did she disclose to you about her? Has she had a period yet? Do you know?
Yeah.
Did she disclose to you about that?
Yes.
So do you know her regular
Cycle?
I
usually put it, she usually tells me when she gets it and we put it in an app.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I must have missed it this month, or she must have not told me this month when she got it, but I have it written down when she got it back in January.
When should she have had it this month, roughly?
The beginning of the month. She got it January 1st. So it should have been around the end of February.
January 1st of February?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And was she pretty consistent on telling you?
Yeah, she would tell me when she would get her period. And then she'd actually also tell me every time she used the restroom. Like, Mom, success, I pooped. And I'm like, cool. Because
right.
she's got GI issues.
Wow.
And she didn't tell you about this last cycle?
So a lot of people are talking about this right now. Was Maddie pregnant? I don't know if we will ever learn. I guess if anything, the medical examiner would tell us that. But I find it really interesting that at one point, I don't know if it's on this video or on a different one, where Jen talks about her period not coming. So I don't know. It's very questionable still, at least in my mind.
No. You find that odd?
Yeah.
Yes. Now that you're bringing it up, yes.
Would there be obvious signs when she's on her cycle? As far as like certain products she might use?
Yeah, her pads.
Mm-hmm.
The pads she would use. I would get her a box about every 2 cycles or so, because one box would last her 2 cycles. She would typically complain of her breast hurting, having terrible cramps. But
Plunder, true crime audio.
You didn't hear any of that. Okay.
But you said she's been consistent every month telling you about her period?
She's been late a few times, and she's told me, or sometimes her period has lasted way longer than normal. I'll call it irregular, because mine was irregular when I was younger too. So I just assumed.
Night, Ruthie. Have a good night.
Itself.
Thanks for being here.
Do you find it odd that it would be a month late?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on this one. Okay. Just wow. This poor kid.
Those images you guys showed me with the car,
Mm-hmm.
is there any more?
Mm-hmm. I mean, none that I can show you right now, but yes, there's quite a few.
But we don't see where he ends up going in the car.
Where do you think he would go?
I have no idea. If I knew, I would tell you.
Mm-hmm.
What general direction did you say he headed in?
He's all over the place.
That he was.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but this is just, we've been doing this job a very long time, as you can tell with all the gray in my beard. Your emotion when I told you you broke down like that. Do you remember that? Like instantly crying. But when you talk about her possibly missing, or God forbid, deceased, that emotion changed.
What do you mean by changed?
So when I told you
Yeah,
you broke down and started crying. Okay. But then when I showed you the pictures and
exactly
said that she may not be asleep in those pictures, your emotion just changed.
Yes.
I don't want to believe it. I want to. In my heart, I know you're showing me what you're showing me, and you're telling me he threw away her backpack. And I want to assume the worst. I don't want to assume the worst. I want to assume that she's still alive, that she's out there, that he's hidden her somewhere. But with what you're showing me, it feels like we're looking for a body.
And what do you say about that? How do you feel about that?
I don't want to believe that she's dead in those images you showed me. She doesn't look like she's sleeping. Who sleeps? When you sleep in a car, you sleep with your head on the door. Her head was over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Unreal. Jesus.
I don't know what you want me to say or do, or just want my daughter back.
And this is exactly what I was just talking about.
No emotion.
We are literally having a conversation right now about Maddie possibly being dead.
Yeah.
And where's your emotion?
And
Jesus, lady.
you have yet to shed a tear. But when I mentioned to you that you were crying violently almost.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Because that was physical proof. That was proof of what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
That destroyed me.
Oh, it sounds like it. You sound just destroyed.
Until that picture of her asleep or not asleep in the car is not proof to me until I see a body.
Mm-hmm.
I have hope that she's still alive. But I don't know what you're telling me. I'm starting to fucking doubt everything. But I can't tell you why I broke down over one, and I'm being really serious now.
Exactly, Maxie.
So here's what's going to happen. Starting tomorrow, it's already started, but tomorrow there's going to be information being released between our department and Orange County's Sheriff's Office, is that now this entire investigation is the Kissimmee Police Department's investigation.
True crime
I think I told you that
audio.
last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, we are probably going to start working this case as a homicide.
Okay. That's what you got? Okay.
Because he's in jail right now for...
Jesus. Okay.
Okay. He's in jail for that.
Mm-hmm.
But we believe he possibly has done something to Maddie. And we want to know where he would possibly go.
Yep.
Now, this is going to be a very difficult situation. But do you have any knowledge of what he has done with her?
I wish I could tell you, but I don't. I have no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew I would tell you.
Real tears. Give them some real tears.
Having it be such the homicide makes it official for me.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Very disturbing. Very little care is being
Is there any
shown.
more images you could show me?
Not at this time.
And he threw away her backpack.
Mm-hmm.
That was her backpack in that bag.
Mm-hmm.
How long does somebody go to jail for this? Please tell me it's so much.
What?
If he did something to her that led in her death, yeah, he's going to prison for life.
What kind of question is that? What kind of question?
He's probably going to prison for life.
Oh.
So, like, multiple life sentences, fine. Fuck him. Oh my god.
What?
Has he tried reaching out to you from jail?
No.
Has he tried reaching out to anybody from jail?
I don't know. I talked to his dad earlier, but he didn't share much information. I don't even, did I ask him? I can't recall if I asked him if he's reached out to him.
It's
I don't
very
remember this
strange.
conversation this morning.
Tears off. All done with the tears now?
Anything else?
Jesus Lord mercy.
All right, we are going
Plunder,
to
true
check on
crime
the
audio.
progress that they're making inside real quick.
Did he tell you where she's at?
No. I haven't spoken to, like, since when? Like, in the hotel?
Anytime.
No, never. Like,
We need to find her.
I know. I wish I knew
Yeah.
where to tell you guys to look. I fucking wish. Like, could you show me like a map of where around town he was so I could point out maybe this, maybe this, maybe this?
There's too many places.
Wow. Too many places. Yeah. Why is she worried about
Has he ever talked about giving Maddie medication? Like any of his medication?
Wow. You know, this woman, where is her care for her daughter? She sounded more concerned about how much time Stephan Sterns could get for doing what he did than she is finding her daughter alive or otherwise. She is beyond disturbing. I really think we're going to see an arrest. There's too much coming out for there not to be an arrest, in my personal opinion. It's just like, holy shite, lady.
I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? Or
No.
Just,
have you ever given her any of your medication?
She's got her own anxiety medication.
Do you double check her medication?
When we give it to her? Yeah. I make sure I grab the bottle or she grabs the bottle, but like somebody's got eyes on her, grabbing the pills and taking them. Like, it's a tag team situation. She's not allowed to take them alone. So we just make sure that we watch her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong bottle and accidentally take Adderall before bed, because that sounds like a terrible idea.
How long have you guys lived in Osceola County?
On and off for 12 years.
What about Stephan?
On and off for 6.
Okay. Would you say he's pretty familiar with Osceola County? Does he venture off?
No. I know he'll visit he likes to visit gaming shops and like board game shops. Does he drive around aimlessly just to kill? I mean, just to drive? I don't think so. I think he goes out with plans.
unreal.
Okay. Does he have close friends that live here?
Nobody likes Stephan. No
In Central
friends.
Florida, no.
No.
Mm-mm. The majority of his friends are in Northport, Florida.
Northport.
Mm-hmm.
Does he go with cars?
Is he good with cars?
What do you know how to change the oil, change a tire?
I mean, supposedly he said he changed a tire on Monday and hurt himself. So I don't know. I don't know how good that makes you if you hurt yourself. But yeah.
Okay.
Do you, question. The vehicle that you guys towed, that was his? Did it have a donut on the car?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Do you not know his car?
No, I do know his car. I just don't remember if I ever actually saw the donut or not. I never came to inspect the car. I was wondering, was that true? Was that part of the story true? Did he actually get a flat tire?
Who is in St. Cloud?
I don't.
Oh.
Only I know people in
Plunder,
St. Cloud,
True Crime
and he doesn't know where they
Audio.
live. And
Does he know those same people?
He's met them before and talked to them before when they've come over here.
Okay. Where do they live in St. Cloud?
Off of Old Canoe Creek Road. Do you want me to get you an address?
Sure.
Has he ever went with you to go see him?
No.
Never.
No. I've never even gone to her house like that to hang out. She always comes to my house. So they know each other. She lives in St. Cloud, but we've never gone to St. Cloud together with her to her house.
And how do you know her? She work with you?
Yeah, she's an old coworker from 14, 15 years ago.
From Disney?
No, we used to work at a pizzeria. That was when I was a lot younger.
Are you texting her?
Would you like me to call or would you like to text?
No, I thought you were just gonna pull it up. It's off Old Canoe Creek.
Yeah, I don't know her exact. I don't know the exact street or address or. I want to say it's actually. Hold on. Okay, pull up a map.
They've had to black out so many disturbing things that it's just unreal. Unreal what this man has done. And her reactions are just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
So she lives off of this road right here, Nolte Road in St. Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Nolte. That's 192 right there.
Yep.
Old Canoe Creek, Nolte. She lives around there.
Would you be able to point it to me?
To which house? No.
Not the specific house, but like, is it in a neighborhood? Does she have her own land?
It is in a neighborhood. I don't remember where though. I don't know how far down. I have to drive down Nolte.
Are you familiar with Nolte?
No.
No.
No, I think I've only dropped her off at her house once.
Drop Maddie off there?
No. My friend.
Oh, your friend. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
want
sure.
to text the address?
Yeah, let me guess.
Yeah. And what was her name?
Michelle
Michelle.
Mason. Masson.
2 S's.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't think Stephan would know where she lives, but
Plunder, True Crime
No, I'm not saying
Audio.
that he did, but I'm just trying to see who you would know in St. Cloud.
okay.
That's all.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only person. There might be somebody else that lives like closer to Harmony, but that's the only people I know.
I agree with you, Dandy, 100%. This poor kid. It started allegedly when she was 8 years old.
What does it say?
8 years old. Can you imagine?
Michelle Mason, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
It is. The lack of reaction from her is so disturbing.
What part of Nolte was it on?
It's beyond disturbing. How could she have missed this? Even with some of the stuff that she says through this interview and others that we've listened to, she's culpable.
So
Stephen's Plantation.
Stephen's Plantation. It is gonna be. I don't know what neighborhood that is.
Plunder.
But if you go
True
on
crime
Burr
audio.
Berry Place.
Okay. Yep. No, it's not.
Yep, I agree. She didn't deserve this. And then he deletes her allegedly. I have to throw in the allegedly, as we know. Beautiful girl.
All right. Well, we're gonna check, see how they're going on inside. Like what we did last night. Do you swear and affirm everything that you've told us today is to the best of your knowledge? So help you God.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're gonna conclude this interview. It is 6:35 p.m.
Well, guys, what do you think? What do you think of that? Do you think she knew? Oh my God. Yes, she did. She absolutely did. You know, it's just, oh. Yeah, we've heard some stories of him possibly putting cameras underneath the door of his roommates. Whether or not it's factual, but like Dandy says, yeah, that is the rumor. Yeah, I thought I heard some stories from some of his old friends. So did I. You know, I think what we're going to end up with is more audio and more audio. I don't know if we're ever going to get the complete, you know, how we get the sit down interviews, because most of these seem to be happening in cop cars. So I'm not 1,000%, but I would like to not only hear the reaction, but I'd like to see her reaction. Because what we're finding, or what I think I'm seeing, is she turns off these emotions so fast. I would be a total mess. I can't relate to her. I'm sure the cops are just like, what? So what do you guys think? Are we going to see an arrest? What do you guys think? I hope that Maddie gets justice. There was some ruckus over a friend being an imposter for clicks. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, no good. No good. So I want to thank Plunder and the Docket for getting the audio. If you're not subscribed to them, check them out. They're great channels. They do an awful lot of work, and they supply it to a lot of us other creators to work on and show to our audiences. So they are really, I appreciate everything they do. I also appreciate every single one of you. I wasn't too sure how this stream was going to go. Yes, last one, it was a little touch and go, wasn't it? I was having problems with the internet. So I'm glad this went straight. There really is. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background right now. So I'll avoid that like the plague and keep trying to get you guys out the best information I can. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, like, and share. And I'll see you really soon in the next one. Bye, guys.